Welcome to the check-in. It's Tuesday, the 12th of September. The check-in is brought to you by Freeze Pipe. For the smoothest, coldest way to smoke, you got to try the freezable pipe. Bubbler or bong from Freeze Pipe. Here's how it works. You pop the glycerin chamber in the freezer, wait an hour, and watch as the smoke is cooled by a whopping 300 degrees. No more coughing, no more burning. I love the Freeze Pipe. They just sent me a new compartment for fucking blunts. Guys, you put it in the freezer, you roll your blunt, you take it out of the freezer, and now the blunts won't burn you that bad. They just released a mini bong and a tornado bong, and they're not only affordable, but they punch well above their weight class. And for those who prefer smoking joints, blunts, and vapes, Freeze Pipe has you covered with their new glycerin blunt tip. It brings you icy glycerin coldness when smoking any type of joint, blunt, or vape. Say goodbye to harsh smoke and coughing attacks by shopping in the smoothest pipes, bubblers, and bongs and dab rigs at thefreezepipe.com and use code Diaz, D-I-A-Z, for 10% off your entire order. That's thefreezepipe.com, code Diaz, D-I-A-Z, for 10% off. Shop today and start smoking like you're living in Aspen. The check-in is also brought to you by Babbel. Listen, if you're headed to a different country, you need to pack Babbel in your suitcase. Joey, what's Babbel? Babbel is a real language learning for real conversations. You can start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks with their new fun 10-minute sessions. How great is that? Now you can talk to people in different languages. Who's better than you? The program is designed by over 150 language experts with a conversation-based teaching model. You'll be learning things you actually need to know for real-life situations, like where is the bus? ¿Dónde está la guagua? Stuff like that. Instead of fooling yourself with language apps that are little more than games, choose Babbel, B-A-B-B-E-L. A study even found that using Babbel for just 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. How's that one for you? Here's a special limited time for our listeners to get you started. Get 55% off. Again, 55% off Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/Joey. Again, that's babbel.com/Joey. Get 55% off at babbel.com/Joey. Spelled Babbel, BABBEL.com/Joey. Without further ado, let's get this party started.
Turn off your TVs, run for your lives. It's over. They didn't put you on this planet just to give up. If Uncle Joey could do it, I could fucking rule the world. That's what you gotta be thinking. Welcome back to
Uh-oh. There he is. Johnny Abdullah. Happy Monday, Hot Smokers. It's September 11th. My heart goes out to everybody. 22 years later, it's still a disaster, but we're still back. You know what I'm saying? We're still kicking ass, America. What's up, Lee SYATT?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the check-in.
I'm ready to go. You didn't take an edible yet.
It's right here. See, this is
And
everyone says I don't take shit.
You're making those fake ones.
Listen,
do it. Ding, 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 ding. What's up, buddy? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great.
What'd you do? You didn't do no stand-up, right?
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not.
When is your next little fucking hoop-de-doop?
This weekend, Friday and Saturday, I'm at the Saratoga Comedy Works.
That's how we do it, brother.
Oh, yeah. And then next week, huh?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry, next week I'm at the Chicopee Comedy Loft on Thursday.
Look at you, you bad motherfucker.
That's
From
right.
Chicopee to New York to L.A. to Reno, back to the ghetto.
Someday.
I love it, brother. Look at you. International Lee SYATT starting this tour in fucking Battlefield, Israel.
Oh, they would hate me in Israel. They'd like you more than they like me.
What are you?
I'm like a Jew that went bad.
But the Cubans like you more than they like me, so it all works out for the better. How's the girlfriend? How's the kids? Everybody jumping up and down?
Everyone's doing great. It's been fun, like her with the kids. I was thinking about this. Do you love pissing Mercy off?
Not really.
No, I love pissing her
Listen, I
kids
gotta hear
off.
her fucking talk. I torture her a little bit. I do things that bother her a little bit, but I don't push the issue too much. Every once in a while, I scare her.
How do you scare her?
You just fucking stand outside the door when she comes out. Noise. I got different masks and shit.
Oh, you have
Ari gave me
masks?
like a voodoo mask he brought back from Colombia. He always brings me a mask from these places to fight the demons. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god. I like to tell them like I'm Taylor Swift's best friend and they freak out.
And then
Like,
you
no, you're
call me
not.
up. Then you call me up and I go, I'm Taylor Swift. That's not Taylor Swift, you fucking liar.
Oh, I love doing that.
So
But
football season
oh, it
has
was
fucking
great.
arrived, man.
Thank God.
And it was a hell of a fucking week so far. I mean, I turned it around. I started the week off with Detroit.
Mhm.
Just took a chance with it because what the fuck? And then
Right.
I don't think
Before you
I
get to Sunday, you gave me shit for Saturday and I wanted to defend myself.
what shit for
Cuz I
Saturday.
cuz I don't know anything about college football. But I'm trying, I'm trying to have some fun betting. I'm trying to have something to talk about. And I had an odd number in my account. I had 143. I don't like odd numbers. So I placed a $13 bet and you gave me shit for like 30 minutes. What's wrong? I don't know anything about the game. You don't ever place like a $10 bet. What's wrong with the 13? It was 13.51.
$13. First off, you're Jewish. No Jewish man gets annoyed by those 3 pennies, okay? I don't know what kind of Jew you are. 43 cents is 43 fucking cents, okay? And you hold on to it. $13. How do you end up with it? Listen, you bet Colorado. Do you think I know about college football? I know dick about college football. I know that the excitement is great up in Colorado.
Yeah.
So I had nothing to lose. They were playing in Boulder on a fucking beautiful goddamn day. That's the Lord's country right now. Did Denver win on Sunday?
No, they lost.
Where, at home or away?
I don't know. I think they were home.
It's weird. When Denver plays at home and they got a good team, 1 o'clock game, the Lord's Day, I don't give a fuck if you show up with Jesus and the disciples and Pontius Pilate. You're not beating the fucking. I lived there for fucking 20 years.
You know what this reminded me of? You remember the U where you said the Miami players were more popular than the Dolphins players? I think that's what's going on in 2 weeks with Colorado over the I know they like the Broncos, but people hate Russell Wilson. And I think they
Okay. You
love
mean
Deion
like, yeah,
Sanders.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, Colorado, listen, Boulder, I worked at the car wash and they were huge donors. They went to every game. They went to the Orange Bowl. They went to practices. The more money you give, the more you hang out. I mean, if you pay $2,000, you cut the football players' toenails if you want. They'll take you money for anything. Those fucking boosters. And I had never seen that before. Like when I lived in Boulder, I had never seen people that didn't have kids on the team who traveled with the team and like went to all their functions. And it was pretty good to see. The old me would have said it was kind of geeky.
Right.
But no, it's nice. That's what they're into. Some people smoke dope. Some people want to go watch college football games. So I don't know much about college, but I know Colorado's a beautiful fucking college. Boulder is phenomenal. I want to take my daughter now just to open her eyes, just so she could see what the fuck. I'm going to take her there and to Vanderbilt when I go to Nashville next time for the holidays. Just so, because nobody ever took us when we were in high school or the 8th grade or the 5th grade and showed us what life could be like. This is a fucking university, and then they'll take you to fucking like Boston City College. And it's like in Southie, the admissions officer has no teeth. And you get to see, you go in there in Southie, the guy's drinking with a cigarette in his hand, with a no smoking sign right behind him. He don't give a fuck. And he's talking to you with the cigarette in his hand and shit.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's the reason I went with Colorado.
Because of Boulder being a pretty place?
No, because Boulder just has a weird energy. And Deion brought even a weirder energy.
Yeah.
Deion brought a winning energy, and he's fired up, and he got the town fired up. Like it was the most expensive ticket this week, Nebraska, Colorado.
How does he do that in 2 fucking weeks? That's
Deion
crazy.
Sanders is a fucking motivator. He used to motivate himself to be the best every Sunday, and then he'd take a helicopter and go play baseball. I mean, whether he was an all-star or not or whatever, he still did that. And he's one of those guys, he's just a winner, dog. His energy beats everything. His energy and his likeness, he wants the players to have fun. I finally realized at the age of 55 or 56, something that I could save everybody's energy with as you get older. If you're not having fun, get the fuck out of there.
That's hard though. Like a lot of people don't have fun at their jobs or in life.
No, they don't. And they don't want to have fun at work. And you have to kind of create that environment. If they fire you, you go to the next job. But it's so weird how people just don't have that energy anymore. I see it on my daughter's softball teams and the other teams, how they coach it. When my daughter's team is happy and they're giggling, they're doing their little cheers and they're hitting the back of their legs and shit, they're winning. They're hitting home runs, they're hitting doubles. But when they're like doomed about something, it's all over but the shout. When you go on stage, your enthusiasm is what makes them laugh. Everybody got jokes. Everybody got jokes. Your enthusiasm is what makes them laugh.
How long did it take you to be able to like turn off what's going on in your life before you went on stage? Like if you were having a shitty day or you got a flat tire on the way there?
5 years.
Really?
4 years. 4 years of, well, the toughest thing was, like I said 1,000 times, that I trained myself to drop my daughter off and I'd cry in the car. I'd pick myself up, I'd smoke a joint, and I forced myself not to go home. I would shoot out to do comedy at any shithole. Any shithole. I would go to that place with the fat pizza guy, the Elvis impersonator. If I was feeling bad about myself when I walked in there, I felt even worse about myself. But through the night, I catch myself and go, Joey, you're doing stand-up.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. I still remember landing in Vegas and getting the call that Brody died.
Right.
You got to go do a show for 2,000 people. I can't, what am I going to cancel because Brody? No, I love Brody, but I got to go do a performance for Brody now. I got to perform for Brody one last time, mention him in the set, tell a Brody story, and I make my peace,
How do you? I'm so like people come up to me like, "Oh, I like your style. You're so monotone and quiet. You make them listen." I don't. It's just who I'm so jealous of people who have like energy like that. Did you have to like train yourself to have energy?
Yeah, because if you're a dud, they're gonna be a fucking dud.
I don't think I'm a dud. I try to
No,
like
you're
amp
not a
myself up,
dud,
but
energy is there's kinetic and potential energy.
okay.
Right? There's two types of energy: energy in motion and energy that's stored. I could be standing like a fucking mummy, like you hit me with a fucking gun or something, right? Just standing there. But for some reason, the way I move my hips without moving, my hips, my shoulders, your hands. When you're driving on the highway, what do you see? Windmills.
Okay.
Windmills, windmills, windmills. They create energy. That's why I never touched the microphone. I shake the whoever's hand and I go up there and I make sure I'm talking to them the way I'd be talking to a fucking cop.
Oh shit!
I didn't know nothing. That's why I don't touch the microphone, because that's energy from your hands. You're creating energy. Those 2 minutes before you go on stage, your potential energy. You're just standing behind there, fucking burning. What if I bomb? What if I slip on a banana peel? What if my mother? What? It's like, what if I forget that joke? And then you go up there, you touch the mic, and the energy connects. Now you have to go into kinetic energy. So, like I said, even if I stand there Like when I started, listen, I experimented with everything, right? So I used to do the Eddie Murphy thing, walk back and forth.
Really?
Like, somewhere in my first 4 years, I made it a habit to walk back and forth. And that didn't work for me. It kind of did, but it didn't. I started making eye contact, started connecting with individual people. And then from there, you grow and you grow. It's getting on stage. That's it. There's no fucking book. I wish I could sell you a book that would make you better.
Me too.
Getting on stage every fucking day when you have an opportunity is it. I'm talking if there's no stage time, going to a movie theater and going up there and doing 4 minutes and getting thrown out, but laughing your ass off. And even having your friend go on Instagram and see security chase you out and shit. That's you put that on YouTube, that's 2 million views. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
You
absolutely.
train yourself to do all these weird things. I used to do karaoke, and the guy didn't want us to do comedy. So we would have to write the song, give it to him, and then go up there. Infatuation. Let me talk to you people about something. He would lose his fucking mind.
I can't, and it's just, I you know what? When you're talking about energy, and I think it's energy. The thing that like you do probably as well or better than anybody is laughing on stage. There's something about laughing on stage, and I don't know if I'm too focused on my stuff, and I do it occasionally. Like after we recorded last week, I went to an open mic, high as fuck, and I giggled the entire time I was on stage. But how do you like that? What do you think about that? Like, how hard is it to laugh at your stuff?
I can't fake laugh.
Right.
All right. The time I laugh is when I improvise a joke. When I improvise a joke that I haven't even thought of, and it comes out right there,
Uh-huh.
and I giggle about it, like that's when I laugh.
But you laugh your entire you must improvise every goddamn thing.
No, because I'm looking at people, I'm looking at their faces when I say shit. It's just I don't know. It's something about I can't fake laugh.
Mhm.
I'm not a fake laugh. I don't sit in the back. That's not me that you hear on the fucking what's his name? The guy on HBO. There's that guy that has the show.
Bill Maher?
Yeah, Bill Maher. I love Bill Maher, but when he's got a guy on the show that just sits in the back and laughs loud. I wonder if they give him like the small 15K a year. Just come to 6 episodes and laugh the loudest. And he always goes, ha ha. You ever go to a comedy club and somebody cracks a joke and the 2 idiots in the back are like, ha ha. And you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what are you doing? And they're like, we're trying to support. You're not, if I'm on stage and you make that noise, all I can pray for is a Chinese fucking dart gun that I can blow in you like a fucking.
There on the other side of it though, and I don't know about you, but like we connected early on because I love albums, like I love comedy CDs. For some reason, and even when I'm at a show, if there and I don't know why it is, if there's a woman that I can hear her laugh specifically, it doesn't have to be just a female laugh that is like consistent throughout the show. It's like some of the best. I don't know what it is. I feel like a women laughing make my entire. I don't know why I can just hear it. Do you ever like hone in on a specific laugh when you're on stage?
There's certain ladies that laugh. There's certain people that don't get out much. And when they go out, they fucking love to laugh. And it's a tennis match. Comedy is a tennis match. My joke to your laugh. My joke to your laugh. My joke to it don't work like that all the time.
Yeah.
One-way street. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just hitting the fucking tennis balls and nobody's doing shit. Like, where'd all my tennis balls go? Oh, you suck, Joey. But the other day I did something pretty fucking insane since you're talking about one of my favorite bits in comedy. I mean, I could see why he blew up from that bit.
Which one?
Like, there's people who blow up from specials. There's people who blow up from many reasons, a movie, a TV show. I like when people blow up because of the gift of comedy. Like they're that good. They
Mhm.
didn't have to use MySpace or nothing like that, or Twitter or Instagram. And I think Cat Williams' Michael Jackson joke
Yeah.
is one of the greatest jokes of all time because it's a black man bashing a black man in front of a black audience, and the response is just oohs and ahs. You know, I don't know what my point was here, but
You were just saying like a bit that you like one of your favorite bits of all time and like a
that's
laugh.
so I had it in the car the other day.
Okay.
I was listening to Richard Pryor in the car, and Mercy was with me.
Oh
I
shit.
have it on my Apple. So for some reason, Richard Pryor went into fucknut. It went into Cat Williams doing the Michael Jackson bit. And he transitions it perfectly. He talks about Martha Stewart going to prison for transferring money.
Right.
He talks about Little Kim going to prison for not ratting. And then he goes, meanwhile, Michael Jackson's running loose, smelling little kids' booty hole. When Mercy heard that, because one of her best friends is a big Michael Jackson fan, her fucking face, she was like, Dad. And I go, yeah, listen to it. He comes back because it like connects tracks.
Uh-huh.
Track bit, you hear it go down, and he just goes off on Michael Jackson. Poor little Mercy was petrified. You thought I was doing 150 miles an hour in the car. She was just pressed against the thing, listening and just shaking her head. Little boy's booty holes. I fucking lost it. I had to explain to her later on that, he got accused and he had to pay the small $20 million.
The small 20 million.
But I didn't bash him because I know she likes Michael Jackson, so I didn't break her balls that way.
Do you introduce her to comedy a lot?
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to talk about football?
No. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, do you show her a lot of comedy?
No, but one of her friends told her about the Tom Segura bit at camp.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And what did she think of that?
I don't know. I don't know if she saw it. It says that I did heroin for 20 years. That's the last thing I wanted to see. I didn't do heroin for 20 years, cocksucker.
Right.
Now you know why I gave him the fucking Tom Segura killer, the ABX 200 milligram.
Oh yeah.
These are the fucking best. They really are. They really fucking are, man. Who the
love
fuck
it.
keeps bothering me? All right. There you go. All right. So what were your did you look at next week's?
I did. And there's a few different games. So, and I don't know why, but right now, Kansas City, Jacksonville is like very close. Like Kansas City's favor, but I just saw right before we started that the guy, like the defensive player, Chris Jones, who was holding out, just signed, so he should be back. And I don't know if Travis Kelce's coming back, but if Travis Kelce comes back and Chris Jones is back, I think Kansas City is gonna destroy Jacksonville, especially after losing like embarrassingly the week before. I think they'll do pretty well. It's right now it's minus 155, so it's not like crazy. It's not like minus 600 or something. So I like that one a lot. I think Detroit's going to beat Seattle, and that they're favored by 5.5. I never bet. I hate points. I always just bet if they're going to win or they're going to lose. But then also Baltimore versus Cincinnati. Baltimore's the underdog. They won last week, and Cincinnati got destroyed. And I know Cincinnati probably doesn't want to get embarrassed again, but Baltimore is giving 3.5 points. So that's something that I don't like. If I think someone might lose, but it's going to be a close game, that's when I'm like, okay, I'll give the plus points.
Okay, some of these lines are created to make you jump on it.
Okay.
So right now, you're a regular American Mama Luke, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
And you're like, I'm going to put a bet in next week on fucking whatever the fuck, right?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about a movie. not you. No, seriously.
Oh, I know you're not.
General public. All right, because this is who you're learning from, the general public and what they like. So next week, let's look at a game like Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens. You're absolutely right. They got embarrassed last week, Cincinnati. I could not fucking believe how great Cleveland looked. Forget about that. Cleveland's got their number. Cincinnati did not look good. I like them. I really like to see that dude, Joe Burrows. He's great. They're playing a Baltimore team that covered the 12. The
Mm-hmm.
line went down to 9.5. They covered the fucking spread. So right now, everybody in America is going, I'm taking Baltimore, getting 3.5.
Right. That's what I would do.
And the smart move there, I think Cincinnati will beat them by 3, and you've got the hook.
Right. That's what I'm.
Or I would watch this line during the week.
Okay.
I would watch this line during the week. There's a couple great games. But if you still, tell them what we saw last week. Tell them what we learned last week. Saturday night, Adesanya was fighting fucking Strickland, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I did not watch the fight. I didn't like the card that much. I didn't feel like going to $80 for the fucking card.
I know.
And I don't even stay up that late. She comes down at midnight to watch the honeymooners on Saturday night. That means the fucking thing is not good for me.
Yeah, the main
Can't
event.
watch it. She wants to watch the honeymooners. So we got a couple TVs, but that don't matter. She wants to watch the honeymooners down here. So I wasn't even thinking about the fight. To be honest with you, I didn't even know there was a fight on Saturday night.
Yeah, they didn't really promote it, but I thought for sure Israel was gonna win.
Well, let's go back to the fucking basics here. What ended up happening? The line opened up at like Israel. You made $3 if you bet Israel, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden, Saturday at 3:00, what happened on DraftKings?
They had that promo.
What was the promo?
Plus, I think it was plus 100 to Izzy for Izzy to win.
100% profit boost. So you mean to tell me that you went from me betting $50 and winning $750 to if I bet $50, I get $50 now?
Yeah.
We're going dollar for dollar. This is better than a fucking bookmaker from the diner. You know what I'm saying? This is better than anything. Everybody jumped on that bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
And then I saw people like Chael Sonnen, couple people, fighters, were saying, who's not going to bet Israel Adesanya? Like that was the main theme. Like, this is going to be a fucking punch in the head. Now, did I send you the text with the bet?
No.
I bet $25 on Strickland.
No, of course you didn't, because I put the bet on it. I put it for Israel and I lost. You never sent me the bets when they win.
I was going to bet Israel, but I said, there's got to be something going on here. Something ain't right. You never seen a bookie with a part-time job. Plus, you have so much action this week. You had college. You had Thursday night. You got baseball.
Yeah.
And right now, it's like everybody's getting ready for fucking playoffs. So these motherfuckers are playing. All right.
And do you ever bet tennis?
You had a full fucking card on Sunday and then another card on Monday night, which is going to be a heavy-duty bet game tonight's game.
Right.
It's going to be one of the biggest bet games ever. It's at 50-50 right now. Nobody can make a pick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, tonight you pick this to watch the game and enjoy it. Whether it's raining like hell in Jersey, and so the under could be it. So bet the over. Everybody will be betting the under because of the weather. Shit like this. Like this is what you have to look at. Plus, it's a Monday night game. Monday nights, people put in parlays. They love it, Monday nights. That's what you call it, the Monday night parlay. Nobody sells a Monday night side. Everybody sells a Monday night parlay. So one of those sides is going to be fucked up. It's like the other night with Detroit.
Right. What happened with that one?
Well, I think the line was 4.5.
Okay, probably.
And was it Detroit? It was somebody else. I forget who the fuck it was that did a move like that. Anyway, I'm stoned and the fucking ABXs are kicking in, Jack.
Oh, yeah. Do you ever bet like crazy shit? Like I know you don't like tennis, but like the US Open, do you ever put anything on something you just have no idea about?
I'd just be donating money. I might as well pull up to a homeless guy and give him the small 20 because I don't know. I don't bet like most people because I don't know a lot about who's the new quarterback. I don't pay attention to that shit. I'm looking at the line. I'm looking at the goddamn line. So, this week I had Jacksonville. I had Miami because I went to Jimmy's. I didn't have him big, $25. I think you win 47. and I had New England. And
See,
again, it wasn't. It was 3.5. So I was hoping I'd win with the hook.
right, yeah. And what do you do more of, before the game or in-game betting?
I'm gonna tell you something. I love this new sports betting. Everybody's doing it. The DraftKings live betting for me yesterday. Who could tolerate that fucking Giant game?
No one.
After 3 minutes, they were down 16-0. I knew what time it was. I did something. I went to like CVS or something. And then I came back and it was still like they looked like fucking death. I know a fucking high school team that could beat the Giants. So I just took a chance and I bet the under. And I started watching Winning Time with the Lakers with my wife. And then Mercy came down. We're talking. When they went upstairs, I went to check and it was 40-0. And the fucking second string quarterback got put in. I'm like, fuck, that's 11 points. This guy's could throw two. I was 2 touchdowns away from losing, but I ended up winning. I woke up this morning and the game had gone under. So listen, it's a 50-50 toss up. It's just fun. It's entertaining. You throw a little something small on the game just to enjoy it. I got some rice pudding from fucking the Manalapan Diner for late night, like the fourth quarter. You know, the edible will kick in. That's all this is entertainment. I go to bed, I get up, and tomorrow you hustle again. That's basically it, my friend.
I was thinking about this because I'm a fat guy. How much money do you think like pizza places make on a Sunday? Like now in football season, they must fucking love it. It was packed.
To my surprise, Crispy Pizza, the official new sponsor to the check-in,
Goddamn right.
Freehold, the one in Old Bridge had a fire, but the one in fucking Freehold is good.
Yeah.
You know what time they're open till on Saturday night?
What time?
Midnight.
Oh, that's the best.
That means you can run down there and be back at my house by 11:30, but a co-headline fight.
Oh, I love.
Can you imagine getting a
Yes.
pizza at 11:15 at night when you're fucking stoned on these ABXs, and all of a sudden you got something to watch for 2 hours, and you just devour that pizza? I haven't done it in years. I can't eat a whole pizza. I eat 2 slices and it's busting out of me, man. Love it though. Fucking, I got, for a while I came here and I wasn't eating pizza and I was depressed. I was like, how the fuck don't I eat pizza? I used to eat 1 slice a day. It all tasted the same to me. And then I walked into Crispy and it changed my fucking life. I like my regulars. I like, the one I took you to, the Staten Island people.
Right.
My wife goes in there all the time. We get pies. I haven't been in there in a while. I got to go in there and say hello. Carlos is my boy, John, the owner. And I go to a couple, it's not like I'm going to drive like fucking the dude from Barstool. I'm not driving 2 hours to go get a slice of pizza. I got good food right around here. But it was crazy tonight with that beef stew. I've been craving fucking beef stew.
Yeah. Isn't it hot though? Isn't it too hot for beef stew?
Not tonight. Not in Joey Diaz's world.
Jesus.
I could always eat. I'm white trash. I could always eat beef stew. I could eat a can of Dinty Moore like a motherfucker. I love Dinty Moore canned stew with Wonder Bread with butter on that motherfucker. Come on. You know the farts you'll be blowing at midnight? You eat one of those artificial Russian carrots? Fuck. You might lose your eyesight or you might have 40/40 vision instead.
Why is it a Russian carrot?
Yeah, they buy those carrots from Russia, Ukraine, those are nuclear fucking carrots there.
I went on a
I'm definitely gonna get thrown in jail for this one. Real quick, about the Danny Masterson thing.
Jesus Christ. How many years did he get?
30.
That's crazy. It's crazy that someone can get away with it for that long.
Hold on 1 second. With that in mind, now for a word from our sponsors. All right, football's in full swing with another week of epic game. And to the excitement with DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers, you hear it all low, but now you're hearing it from my Uncle Joey. Bet $5 on football to get $200 instantly on bonus bets. Take advantage of 2 new offers every single game this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code Joey to sign up. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Again, $5 and get 200 in instant bonus bets. And it's not just the bets, guys. It's the website, everything that they do, the happy hours. Like I said, Saturday night, they offered 100% boost for the fight. This is the type of stuff they do. So do me a favor. Download the app and use code Joey. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/football. Again, download the app, use code Joey. Let's make the game more exciting. You're watching it with family, you want to jump up and down. The check-in is also brought to you by BetterHelp. The next time you want to shop your troubles away, eat your feelings, or drink your sorrows, turn to BetterHelp. Their online therapy that gives you a place to express your emotions and work through your problems and make important decisions with guidance. BetterHelp is entirely online and is designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Getting started is very easy. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched up with a licensed therapist, and you could switch therapists at any time at no additional charge. Listen, I was at BetterHelp for about a year. I was going through a bunch of stuff, and they really bailed me out. And now I got a clear head. So you too can head into the fall season with a clear coconut. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Again, visit betterhelp.com/Diaz today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Diaz. We're back. All right. We're talking about Danny Masterson.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's I to be honest, dude, that stuff is depressing. So I didn't look too heavily into it, but I have seen what's going on with his friends who wrote letters, and he like so many years. It's crazy.
It
Like
is.
how
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
just how long you get away with it for. That whole thing is just you have this image of people because that 70s show when I was growing up was big. That was a
Very
big show.
Very big. The
And
problem
it's
here, I don't think the conviction was against Danny Masterson as much as a conviction about Scientology. The reason why it took 20 years to prosecute, because Scientology was hiding and hawing and, whatever the fuck they do, torment people and whatever. So it took a while to get some traction to it. The DA must have heard some stories or something, and they just went in there. And listen, man, like you said, I got to LA in 97. I booked a couple jobs, 98. Then I went on the road. I didn't book for a couple years. And then like in 2001, I started booking. And I'll never forget being on a pilot. I was on a show that got canceled on NBC. And it had all these young little hipster stars. And I had a 2-day guest star on it or some shit. I did 2 episodes. But the young kids on that, the people who were on that show, between you and I, I'm as tough as nails. They made you feel insecure.
about what?
Because they were always like telling secrets amongst themselves. They were very cutesy, like it was all a joke. And then years later, I did How I Met Your Mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget how those little faggots acted. I mean, they were like little fags. They were like little fucking girls. And the guy that's on the Lakers show, who I like on the Lakers show, he's a great actor, Jason Segel.
Uh-huh.
He was the ringleader. And there was
Really?
one scene when I was shooting that, they threw a balloon at somebody. It was supposed to be like a balloon I'm throwing to you.
Mm-hmm.
They threw it at the assistant just for a joke. And there she is covered with water. She had tears in her eyes. And he turned around to the other little nerdy fucks, and they were like giggling like, we did it, So I want you to understand the mentality of these fucking little scumbags, okay, what they were doing. And now it's starting to come out that they were going to kiss a 14-year-old girl. Whatever. It's Hollywood. What the fuck do you expect? But these guys, they did what they wanted to. Toby Maguire and those animals were fucking taking people playing poker. That young crew was decked. Leonardo DiCaprio with the poker games and the bitches and and the 70s show was part of that. Those guys, the little Mexican guy that slings dick like three hands, the Honduran kid, great guy, but those other guys, I could see them as like being kind of cutesy. In fact, I thought about a show I did called Happy Hour, a pilot.
I don't even know about that show.
I did a pilot for Fox about 10 years ago, even longer, 15 years ago. It was out of all those people in that pilot, one person shined. Two of them, really. John and this other guy that was on Narcos. He had tons of movie roles. The other guys were stiffs. They all came, they were done it was a show done by the same people as the 70s show. When they wrapped the 70s show, this is the show they developed called Happy Hour. They had fired, when I went in for that job, they had fired the previous 4 people before me. Not
for your role?
Not 2, not 3, 4, because it was a funny role. These guys were improv motherfuckers. They know nothing about being funny. All they know about is how to be funny with 8 people on stage.
Right.
For a bunch of fucking Americans. Oh my God, get the fuck out of here. I want to see you go down to a brick wall with a microphone and fight it out. Okay? What was I talking about?
About the show Happy Hour. You were the 4th one for your role.
I was the 5th guy that got hired.
5th one.
And after that, Fox was like, no more. And I went in there and tore them up. I tore them up, dog. I had a couple lines, but I improvised and I used my body or whatever. And I tore them up. And after 2 days, they were ganging up on me.
Because you were too funny?
Whispering and telling little secrets and shit.
Oh, fuck them.
We shot the pilot. Everything was successful. They didn't like me. I was in a different realm. I'm a Comedy Store soldier. I'm a Marine. These guys are fucking they're paying $800 a month for somebody to tell them they're funny. 2 different fucking worlds, my friend. And, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, how is acting? Because I know you said like you have like the stand-up chops, but how is it different? Does it feel similar to be funny acting as it does like when you're on stage?
It takes some time. It takes time to learn because you're so stiff at first. And listen, I've seen people who have done it. There's some actors who were great. First-time movies and shit. It took me a while to get a little warmed up. I didn't know what I was doing. I got picked right out of the choir for basketball. I was just walking by with a red shirt on that people thought it was like a whistle. But, I didn't get my full stride till Mark Maron's show.
Really?
Yeah. I started to get The Longest Yard, developed it. Right. In 17 fucking weeks. So that's like every week doing fucking 10 sets. Boom, boom, doing two scenes a day, fucking 4 days a week and then 17 times, that's a lot of scenes. So you learn. That was a great movie for me because I practiced every day.
Do you think, because like my least favorite part, and I love doing weekends, but I hate late show Saturday because I'm like, I'm not at the point yet where I'm doing it every week. And I know with The Longest Yard, you thought like it might have like catapulted to do like a lot of acting. If you had gone from like The Longest Yard and did movie, like, do you think there could have been a point where you would have stopped doing stand-up and just been an actor?
I don't know, Lee. I don't know. When I got The Longest Yard, I loved doing stand-up. I was just breaking into who I was. So it was very interesting for me. I remember not doing stand-up the first 6 weeks in Santa Fe and like looking for open mics.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just used the set. I would just go off on the set. But those were the roughest 6 weeks for me ever. And I didn't also do blow those 6 weeks. So there was no blow and no fucking stand-up. I would smoke dope and hang out with the guys and crack jokes. But it was very unique for me, 2004, I still love stand-up like a motherfucker. I was doing coke, I appreciated going out because you were going to do coke after your stand-up set, I really enjoyed it. In fact, I was thinking about Today, somebody put a flyer for an open mic on my Twitter timeline.
Oh yeah.
It's in Clifton. It's a fucking hour away and an hour back. The skies are coming down here tonight. Plus, we had this and other things. But what are we talking about?
About acting when you were on The Longest Yard. No comedy. You still loved it.
It sucked.
Yeah.
You know, I love stand-up at that time. I still do. I don't want to really go out right now. I'm having a good time hanging out, doing the podcast with you. I'm good.
Oh yeah. No, it's completely different.
But I don't think so. In fact, I didn't like those people. Let me be as honest as I can with you. I didn't like people who, except for like Eddie Murphy, I saw that. But I also saw a lot of stand-ups I worked with that moved to LA and became something else. At first, I didn't appreciate it. I thought they gave up. But then I realized that stand-up is just a starting point.
Does it have to be? Could you make a career as just a stand-up?
Yeah. But I'm talking about a starting point. Like, listen, if you come to me tomorrow and go, Joey, I got to be honest with you. I really want to get into the business. What should I do? I really like directing. I would say to you, sign up for a course somewhere. You know, there's got to be something available. And I want you to do me a favor before you do anything. Get on stage one time.
You think everyone should get on stage?
If they're going to get into the entertainment business.
Okay.
Because it gives you a different look of the field. Now you know how the peasants feel down below. Because we're the worker bees. You know what I'm saying? We're the worker bees. We're down there fucking making honey all fucking day. Then as you get older to a producer, you become, but I want listen, one of the best directors I worked with was great because he had done stand-up 15 years. And he told me, he goes, I wasn't a good stand-up. But now I get hired constantly as a director from the depth, the levels that it gave me, you know? So it's interesting shit.
It is, because it's interesting because stand-up, even from my level, really, I guess, has a little bit of everything. Because when you look at a special, it even says written by, produced by, directed by. A lot of times it's just a comic because you're writing your whole thing. You have to the choreograph, it sounds stupid, but a lot of comics have they walk around, they have physical jokes. It is a little bit of everything.
That's the gift of being a comic that not a lot of people understand. We do it all. We run the fucking show. And I'm very proud of that quality. I am the Captain Kirk. I am the CEO of Joey Diaz Inc. You are the Captain Kirk, the CEO of SYATT Inc. What's that mean, Joey? What's that mean? That this is your world. It has no boundaries. It has no limits. And nobody could tell you how you do it. So when you fail on your own and you get stronger.
Right. But then that's also a frustrating part because there's no path. There's a path, but not really. Everyone's different. There's no way, if you do this and do well here, you'll get a spot here. It's just all maybe the booker's not even there. They're not paying attention or what. It just.
That's fine. You got on stage.
It doesn't feel fine.
You got on stage. Fuck the booker. He didn't see you. He'll see you next time. And next time you'll be a lot funnier. Do you follow me? Right now, you're using them and they're pretty much using you. Okay? I want you to think that when you walk in, we're so happy to see you. Welcome. They don't give a Frenchman's fuck. You could have been a guy with a missing eye and an eye patch. And they would have said, it's I don't ever want you to lose sight of what you're doing. Right now, at the 4th, 5th year, you're just trying to get on stage.
Right.
Never mind what this guy thinks. If the owner's not watching, fuck him. There's a comic that's watching. And he's going, that guy's pretty fucking funny. I'm going to ask him if he wants to do next Tuesday night at the fucking Shaolin Monk. First time I got on stage, some guy came up to me. He's like, hey, man, do you want to do Denver Broncos training camp tomorrow night, Thursday night? First time I got on stage was Tuesday. And this motherfucker's giving me a gig for $5 on Thursday.
That's crazy.
I'm sure he made $10,000. It was the Denver Broncos training camp. I was just happy to do it for $5 of gas money. That guy ended up giving me thousands of dollars over the years. So that $5 gig, my second night getting on stage, led to this guy. In fact, we've been talking on Facebook lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is
I
he still
reached
doing
out to
comedy
him.
shows?
No, he's like a teacher now. He got out
Okay.
of it. He owned like a motorcycle shop, and he booked fucking these great rooms in places where there was no other entertainment.
Yeah, I love those places. Those are my favorite places to do stand up right now.
Fucking whole town was out.
Oh, I
The
love
whole
it.
town comes out, and they think you're a movie star. That's where they come up to you and they go, "Can I touch you? I never touched you before." And they
That
rub
happened
your
to me.
shoulder.
It happened to me in
Those are those
Portland.
places. In Portland?
This is 100% a true story. I was with my new boss, and not everyone, not all the time, but every couple of weeks, someone will know me from the podcast. So I was sitting there having dinner with my new boss. It was like my first time meeting him. And I see this like mom and kid looking at me, and it looks, you can tell they look happy. So they come up, and in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look like I'm gonna look cool in front of my new boss. And the mom goes, we love your stuff. You're so funny. Like, thank you. That means a lot. And the kid's like, yeah, you're great. And they go, right before can we take a picture? I said, sure. And they go, Mall Cop is our favorite movie. Paul Blart Mall. And I said, and I felt like I wanted to like melt into the ground.
He
And I
thought
said,
you were
what?
Kevin James?
They thought I was Kevin James. I'm like, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not Kevin James. And they go, we don't care. Can we still take the picture? It's mother and son night. And I didn't know. I took a picture with someone because I looked like Kevin James. It's one of the most. It was one of the most depressing moments because I thought I was getting recognized in front of my boss, and they didn't even call me Kevin James. They just said Mall Cop. That is one of the worst. Oh my
It's
God,
like
I'm getting hot. I'm
me and
sweating
Ralphie
just thinking
pulled
about
up
it.
at Jerry's Deli in Beverly Hills. It had to be 15 years ago. He was on top of the world, Ralphie May. And we get out of the car, and the guy runs up to him and goes, Fluffy, it's good to see you. Oh my God. That poor Ralphie, I thought he was going to melt into the fucking floor that night. When people mistake you and shit like that, look at me. For years, everybody came up to me as Big Pussy.
That was
And I
one of
had
my.
to take it. Sometimes I said no, but sometimes they're like, hey, you want a gram of blow? We love you on HBO. Fuck yeah. And I
That
talk
was.
about being on The Sopranos and shit. If you want to rock, I'll rock with you,
It was one of my favorite moments with you. Remember when we went to Austin once and they put you in the wrong hotel? They put you in the nice hotel instead of the one by the restaurant. And we went to eat, and we went to a convenience store to get like a soda or something in this little mall, and it's called the Domain in Austin. And there's the two guys who ran the convenience store were like, oh shit, man, we love The Sopranos. You're like, that's not me, guys. And they're like, oh, come on, we know it's you. You don't gotta be like that. And you're like, guys, it's not me. And after like the fourth or fifth time, guy finally went, okay. And they would not take no for an answer. They were convinced it was Big Pussy.
Brother, what are you going to do? Let's look at some games for next week, cocksucker.
Let's do it, buddy.
Let's see what you got on tap here.
I'm going with Kansas City, I think. Because I don't, and I know this isn't a thing.
All right, well, hold on.
Okay.
Let's go with Minnesota against Philadelphia. I know you had Minnesota last week.
I did have Minnesota.
You're part of your 18-team parlay.
7.
Yeah.
I think Philly's is gonna beat them.
By 7?
No. That I don't like. That I don't know. I think Philly, because they know, I think, that they could have very easily lost that game with the Patriots last night.
They could have. So who do you like there?
I like Philly.
Me, I don't like this game. By Thursday, hopefully I'll feel the over and under. But right now, I'm not feeling it. Sunday, September 17th. The month is fucking moving.
It is. It's crazy.
The Jaguars getting 3 points from Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like Kansas City in that.
Me, I like Jacksonville Jaguars.
You think
I'll
so?
tell
Oh,
you
that
why.
you're
I'll tell you why. After the Giants won one year, the next year they opened up their season opener and they lost. The following week, a bunch of guys where I worked bet a bunch of money on the Giants because they say there's no way the Super Bowl champions are going to lose 2 in a row, and they lost 2 in a row. So I'm going with Jacksonville for this one. I like that game a lot. The next game is Detroit, Seattle Seahawks.
yeah.
I
I
think
think
Detroit will win, but they won't cover. I
right.
wouldn't bet the game right now. I like Detroit. Like I said last week, listen, Detroit, they're relentless. They play till the last whistle is blown, and even then, you better fucking get ready to rock. So that's a good game. You got Tennessee against the Chargers. The Chargers coming off a loss against Miami, and Tennessee coming off a loss with the new quarterback, Tennessee. You know, they went to like 19 quarterbacks in 7 years or something like that.
Do you mean Indiana? Indianapolis?
No, Tennessee. Or maybe it was Indianapolis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because Tennessee has Tannehill, but yeah, that new quarterback for the Colts looks pretty good.
He looked pretty good. Next game you got Baltimore Ravens plus 3.5
Yeah, that's
against Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to wait on that game to see where the line goes. By the end of the week, it might drop to 3.5, might drop to 3 or go up to 4.
Do you ever play with that? Because on DraftKings you can do that. You can make your own odds and like fuck with the line a little bit.
On DraftKings?
Yeah, you can go in and be like, I think the over-under is going to be this, and it'll affect the payout.
The payout. Yeah, I saw that.
But you can make your own odds.
Green Bay came out throwing some heat yesterday.
Yeah, Jordan Love. I think that's the way to do it, is have a quarterback like understudy, like the last 3 Green Bay Packers quarterbacks. And I know it's only been one game, but he looked fucking really good.
How'd Atlanta do yesterday?
I think they lost, but let me check. Let's see here. What are you? Oh, yeah, no, they beat Carolina.
Okay. That's
But
a good game right
Carolina's
there. Both of them won yesterday. Green Bay had a good day. I don't know what to do there. I don't know much about these teams. Tampa Bay, Chicago Bears. Tampa Bay won yesterday, right?
yeah.
Without Tom Brady.
No, yeah, Baker Mayfield looked good. I think, and I like the Bears. I like the Bears a lot, but based on yesterday, I think Tampa Bay would win that one.
Okay,
You
think Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay.
Buffalo and the Raiders in Buffalo. First Sunday game at home. You know, it's nice weather up there. The pierogies are cooking. Motherfuckers are eating wings with blue cheese like it's going out of business here. So
It's hard because we don't obviously the game tonight, but I would normally pick the Bills. As much as I hate picking the Bills because I'm a Patriots fan.
right now they're giving 9.5. So they know something that we don't know. Next game, Indianapolis away, playing in Houston, giving the Texans 1.5 points.
I think Indiana, based on yesterday, I know that the new Texans quarterback is supposed to be good. They're both rookies, but I like, and like everything. Do you ever read the articles? Like I love reading articles like about football, and they've been saying like the new Indianapolis quarterback is like first in, first out. Like they just, I don't know, something about quarterbacks. Like I like reading articles to like get into like their psyche. I feel like they need like that kind of their personality plays a role in it to me.
Well, let me tell you something, not to interrupt you. We're on whatever game here. Last Saturday, I didn't know the UFC was on, whatever. I think by that time I had found out. I came home and I was going to show Mercy a clip of a movie. I was looking for a clip from Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he rolls off on the motorcycle and shit. Tequila. But when I clicked on YouTube, it was Joe Rogan and those guys.
Okay.
And I didn't get it. So Mercy ran upstairs and I was watching Joe and those guys. And it came up to this is what I didn't tell you. It came up to the fucking Adesanya fight. and everybody in the room was like, "Oh my God, Adesanya is the GOAT." I was getting pissed off at that because Anderson Silva's the fucking GOAT. Okay, I saw Anderson Silva come into a fucking UFC and just kick the shit out of like 9 people in a row. So in my world, it's Anderson. So I'm steaming already. And they're like all making that picks on Adesanya's the GOAT. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw an extra $20 on this motherfucker because even these guys are talking about Adesanya. And sure enough, sometimes I like reading articles, but sometimes I don't. And whatever I feel on Tuesday, like when I woke up yesterday, Jacksonville, the line dropped to 4 from 4.5 on Tuesday when we did the podcast the week before.
Uh-huh.
At first, I didn't like it. And I go, I liked them on Tuesday. I like them today. And sure enough, they came back and won or whatever the fuck it was, So sometimes I look a lot at lines, guys. I don't know about the stats. I don't know nothing. So you didn't give me the Indianapolis, Houston Texans.
I think it's going to be Indy. I think Indy's going to win.
Okay, look at this game here. The Rams lose yesterday.
Yeah. I'm almost positive. No. They won. I'm sorry.
Okay. They're getting 8 points from San Francisco in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah. I think San Francisco is going to destroy LA.
Here's another one for you. The Giants lost 40-0, and they're giving 4 points to Arizona in Arizona. By the time
Arizona's supposed to be awful.
Oh,
the Cardinals. Yeah.
The Jets play the Cowboys. Let's see if the Cowboys kick the fuck out of 2 New York teams in 2 weeks.
See, that'll be interesting.
They're giving 3.5 to the Jets.
It'll be interesting to see how they go tonight.
How they do tonight?
Did you watch the HBO show Hard Knocks with the Jets at all this year?
No.
I only watched like an episode and a half. I can't watch the whole thing, but I like to. You don't like watching that stuff?
It depends who it is.
Is there a player who you'd watch right now? If like there was a certain team right now that you'd like to watch?
I like Jacksonville.
Okay.
I like to see more Baltimore.
Baltimore would be really fun.
Detroit is a good team to watch. Like, these are all teams that you catch them now. I'm not saying Detroit's going to win the Super Bowl, but if they keep playing how they were playing, they're the fucking comeback kids. So
I would have loved to have seen the Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Baltimore Ravens, like that hard. Oh my God.
Good defense. It's like watching the Lawrence Taylor days. It's like watching the Jack Lambert, Jack Ham days. Just fucking great. It was like watching an opera. It's like watching ballet, the fucking way they move and shit. You got Denver at home against the Washington Commanders, and Denver is given 2.5. 3.5. I'm sorry.
The Commanders aren't supposed to be that good. I think they won yesterday. I just think, and I don't know how it happened so quickly, but it seems like Russell Wilson, and granted, I can't even pick up a football with one hand, but it seems like he's shitty now for whatever reason, Russell Wilson.
Miami giving 2.5 to New England at home.
Last year, and I know it's hard to listen to a Patriots fan complain, but I feel like a hot girl that like isn't hot anymore, because it was awesome being a Patriots fan for 20 years and it sucked. And I still think we're going to be in it every game. I thought our defense was pretty fucking good yesterday, and it's just the penalties, which Bill Belichick's been great. I think he sucks as a general manager. He's good on defense, but N'Keal Harry, speaking of which, that he just has not been great on offense. But I think I want everything in me wants to pick the Patriots to win, but seeing what they did to San Diego yesterday, I think they're gonna. Yeah, I think Miami's gonna run all over the place, and I don't want them to. But Tyreek Hill's 1,000 miles an hour.
That dude,
I don't know how you cover Tyreek Hill.
Me neither. Didn't he have 2 touchdowns yesterday? Yeah,
at least
2 touchdowns, 11 receptions,
8 million yards.
Phenomenal game, that guy. They got great receivers, and if they could protect Tua, I live around the corner from the biggest Miami Dolphin family. They're not even a guy. It's a family, and they show up and they bring food and booze and it's and you learn a lot, because I remember in LA, I never watched football. Now
Never.
I go over there. It's my favorite thing. They talk, they fucking say shit. It's tremendous. It's one of my biggest enjoyments. And guess what, Lee? I don't have to say shit. I just
You
sit
don't?
there, I'm stoned, and I just giggle.
Oh, they're so much fun. I only went it was great, and I know it's only a joke, but, like, it was all of them. But then they had, like, 1 or 2 sons who are Jets fans, and they had, like, them sitting upstairs by themselves, and meanwhile, there's a
They
party
don't
going
wanna
on
they don't
downstairs.
wanna be down there listening to that. They just wanna focus. He's got, like, 3 TVs going. You wanna be by yourself? They got a room by yourself. They got a living room where you can watch, like, the Dallas game. Let's say you don't wanna watch Miami, and then they have the main room downstairs, and it is, I think I speak for everybody who comes on Sundays. They're all happy it's back. I didn't eat yesterday, but they had pizza, shrimp, chicken wings, chips, every type of beer. You know, he redid the bar. I mean, uh, I bring the reefer, you know,
I'm
for
not
this.
surprised.
There's like 2 guys who get high there. We go outside and smoke a little bit. You know, I'm starting to do what I did as a kid again. And that's been fucking great. You know, I like sports, Lee. But when you're married to something
Right.
like you are about to be, and I was, to really get into the nuts and bolts. I've been talking a lot on the Patreon podcast about how much shit goes into our minds that we think about, and all that energy takes away from your goals. You know, Rogan always talks about, oh, you got really funny. I'll tell you what happened. I stopped dating a girl. The girl was a lot of work, a lot of thought. She came with me to the shows. I don't like women coming with me to a show and sitting in the back like Onassis. I don't like that shit. I'm a lone fucking soldier. You know, I'm a lone wolf dog.
Who's Onassis?
Whatever the fuck. Jackie Onassis. She was married to Kennedy, and then she married Onassis. You know,
Oh my
once her and I stopped dating, she took so much of my fucking energy with bullshit that I had time to focus. And I'm telling you that I see so many people who fucking focus on the littlest shit, but they're not focusing on the most important thing. And at the end of the day, what they're focusing on doesn't fucking matter. And I did it for years until one day I said, fuck these bitches. It's got nothing to do with me. None of those stories on the front page of the Daily News have anything to do with me. Unless I want them to, unless I want to read that shit and carry it all days. You know, I see people who are obsessed or hate Trump. You know,
That's
just to
all they
hate
do.
alone, that takes a lot of energy out of you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Trump being president or not being president doesn't fucking even affect you. You're a bum. You know, you're on disability. You know, you slipped 20 years ago and you don't want to go to work. But you know, it's just insanity. So every time you waste your energies on like, it takes away from your main focus, which is the prize. What am I, a Swami from Salami? I don't
No,
know.
I'm just it's like a low because, like, I think that, and it's not even limited to comedy. There's tons of people chasing their dreams out there. But to, like, get out of, like, relationship or quit a day job or to move away from, like, family, like, like, it's hard to do some of the things you're talking, like, to really, like, just throw yourself into something. It's a big fucking decision.
But I see, I see people who are really good at real estate. Like right now, if you sell real estate, it's a little rough right now with the interest rates and the fucking
Mhm.
this and that and the low house inventory. Guess what happens now? This is when the
What
real
happens?
salesmen come out. This is when the real salesmen come out. When there's fucking nothing. These guys are still selling shacks or fucking, and other people like, what's going on? I can't wait Saturday to go to my husband's party. That's what's going on. You're not, and this is life, cars right now. You go in to buy a car, you're paying all the dough for it. They don't give a fuck. There's other people. You won't pay. They'll pay. What was I talking about? I don't even fucking know.
About making that decision to, like, just go for it.
Just go. If you and I sit here about a club owner and talk about how much of a douchebag he is for 30 minutes, We're not accomplishing nothing.
Right.
That's 30 minutes you and I could be talking about a joke, one particular joke. Let's belt this motherfucker out till whatever. And you call me about one of your jokes. I call you when I'm stuck with one of your jokes. You know, it's so weird how even to see my daughter and my wife the other day, they went to kickboxing. And I asked her, how was class? And my daughter's like, it was great. There was only 8 people there, but Joey was there. Joey's one of her friends, a girl. And I'm like, really? How was the brother? They're fucking a trip, the both of them. And she's like, he was great. And my wife's like, well, he wasn't there. And Mercy's like, yes, he was. You didn't see him. He didn't have glasses on. But my wife is like, yeah, but I sat with the grandmother and I still didn't see him, Mercy. And I'm like, knock it off. 6 minutes? Doesn't matter if he was there or he fucking wasn't. And this is America. This is life. People focus on that little fucking thing.
Right.
Chomp on it. And the whole time the world is fucking moving. The world is moving.
But like that's a whole nother, because I love that. I love like when we'll be out and a conversation will start to happen that has like really nothing. Like, you know, it's like it's a small talk conversation. But it's like they drive you nuts.
Oh, there's a restaurant I go to that every time this waitress is there, I just want to take the knife and stick it in my eye. And I love the place. And I like her. She's very sweet and cute. But she doesn't understand that when I walk into a place, give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes to sit down, get my water, look around, see how the wind is blowing. And then I'll talk to you for 10 hours. But give me 5 minutes. I'm not even at my table. And she's already asking me how my week was. And I know she means well, but knock it off. I come here every week. Just talk to me about you. What's going on? You get some dick last week? What'd you do? You know.
Have you said this to her?
No, because she drives me crazy. But eventually I'm going to say something to her. Because it's like 8 minutes of fucking chit chat. I'm starving, Lee. When I walk into a place, listen, I already know what I want to order. When that waiter, you know, tell them when the waiter comes, he's like, would you guys like something to drink? Yeah, but we're ready to put an order in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
people that are with me look at me like, are you crazy? We just got dog. I already looked on the menu on the way over here.
You really should have.
I'm prepared.
Yeah.
I'm prepared when I walk in there.
Because you don't know when he's coming back.
Like tonight, I went to the diner just to get maybe like a steak. On Monday night, she has a good grilled steak with onions and shit and French fries, pretty fucking good. And she had the beef stew.
And that's easy.
And that's what I've been craving.
Okay.
So, what are we talking about?
We were talking. We were talking about, hold on. Oh God, about fuck, those ABXs are good.
Those ABXs are real fucking good. No more than Tom Segura fucking did a whole bit on them and shit.
We were talking about a couple different things about like making the choice to go for it, and then you were talking about, I don't know how we got to diners.
Diners, drives, and automobiles, bitches. Give me your picks for next week, cocksucker. If you were gonna bet one pick, if you were gonna bet $100, a yardstick, who would it be?
And it's hard a week out, but I'm gonna go Kansas City +3. I don't think they're gonna lose 2 weeks in a row, but if they do, it's gonna be a close game.
I'm going with Jacksonville +3.
I don't think that's possible. You can add 3 points to it. Jacksonville isn't the one I saw was -3 for Jacksonville.
No, Sunday, September 17th. Kansas City -3 to Jacksonville.
Oh, it's Kansas City -3 right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw +3. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. And they're home, Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Jacksonville for the upset.
Okay, I'm going to stick with Kansas City then.
Where are you at this week? What do you got?
Saratoga Comedy Works. One show Friday.
These people want to go see you at open mics, dog. I want them to go see at open mics to see you from the beginning, so they could all say, "I know SYATT when."
All right, the open mics. Tuesday nights, I'm usually at Ralph's in Worcester. Wednesday nights, there's a great one. There's a couple good ones. One at Blackstone in Worcester, and one at Rick's in Woonsocket. Thursday nights is at the Hotel Vernon. There's a great open mic. There's a great night open mic Monday nights at best where someone gets stabbed. There's a fun little scene out here in Worcester.
I
It's
love
fun.
clubs where somebody got stabbed or somebody got killed the week before and there's candles in front of the club.
Just to
You walk
protect
in
my.
there and stand up, it adds a different fucking flavor.
There are candles at this club, and it wasn't that it's since changed. The owners now are very nice. It was before it was Beth's. There was stabbings, but the candles are still there.
So
So yeah, that's pretty much my week.
we didn't fucking we didn't really finish the Danny Masterson thing.
Okay.
What my point was that those guys were really cute, and they thought they were invincible. And I think this is a personal assault on Scientology. I think that the word got out. These guys are intimidating people and blah, blah, blah. He's not in jail yet.
No?
I don't think so. I think he's out on bond till he surrenders himself. That's what happens when you have money. They took me right there in the fucking courtroom. They didn't even let me go back to smoke a joint or do anything. So
I can't believe they let someone with 30 years out of that court. That's crazy.
yeah, I mean, listen, man, it's so funny when, like right now, I'm seeing, like, remember during the pandemic? During the pandemic, the world's in shock. People don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden, people started talking about charges. Like, this guy did this to me, this woman did this guy did this, and all of a sudden, people started getting canceled. You know what's so fucking weird? Right now, it's one of the worst times ever for the entertainment business. One of the worst times ever. We're going on a 4-month strike. You lived in LA. I lived in LA. You know where we lived. Nothing moves without entertainment in our area. Not even Yum Yum Donuts is doing good. Even Yum Yum Donuts got affected. That chick has to take a bus now. She had to pawn a bicycle. The little Mexican chick, Vivian, from fucking El Rancho, wherever she comes up from. Everybody, I feel bad for them. I really do. We spoke about this last week.
Yeah.
Now, in the middle of all this, have you noticed what's happening?
No.
Fucking, they attacking the guy on NBC, the drunk, the talk show host. He's a drunk. People know that he's an alcoholic. He's a great guy, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, I was not going to say his name. Oh, boy.
He's one of those guys that drinks all day. He has to sleep in the afternoon. He has to take a nap like Bert. What are you going to do? I ain't mad at you. I smoke dope all day. I was fucking eating edibles all day. I can't. But it's just insane, man.
It is insane what happens to people. I mean, it's
now they're just pulling people down. Like, again, like that are in the entertainment business. Right now is not the time. The strike is killing motherfuckers. And now is when and those motherfuckers that open their mouth, they ain't got a job once the strike is over. They better start getting a job right now, all the people in Jimmy Fallon's, because I wouldn't bring them back. We're a fucking family. I pay you. We work together. We work 12-hour fucking days. You know what happens when you work 12-hour days with people? You see the worst part of them at the 8 hours. I've been there. I've thrown fits. One time I was in a room for 10 hours. They didn't know I was there. I shot at 11 o'clock and they came back and got me I shot at 1 in the afternoon. They told me, go to your room for a half hour. We'll come and get you. They didn't even check on me till 10 o'clock at night.
Oof.
I'm back there high as fuck, watching TV, fucking eating edibles, attacking the crab service. While it was happening, I wasn't mad. But
I was going to say,
when they came in at 10:30, I was fucking angry. I'm like, what the fuck, guys? So what do you expect? When you work 12, 14-hour days, man, there's gonna be some shit. There's gonna be problems. You and I are not gonna agree on everything. We're trying to make the best show they can possible.
Do you remember, like, within the last 10 years, there was an article because a bunch of SNL interns, like, sued the company?
Yeah.
Saying, like, they were interns and, like, they made them, like, pee in bottles, like, and, like, they couldn't take breaks. And, like, everyone in the it was before I even met you, I think. Like, everyone in the office was like, oh, well, they're not going to, like, just regular post-production people were like, well, they're not going to get high. You can't do stuff like that, even if because there are a bunch of creepy people doing shitty things in the entertainment industry. And I'm not like, obviously, if you get assaulted, you should tell people. But if someone's just like kind of a dick. And it doesn't make it right at all. Because I met some shitty people in LA.
No, that's
But
the problem, that they give a green light to those assholes and they could act that way all the time.
but there is something like there's people being too sensitive, I think.
And well, people are sensitive, and then there's some actors that are unbearable. Some don't wear deodorant. Some come in and they're in character and they think it's fine, to be, what's the other guy, the black guy that was in trouble from all the horror movies? He got in trouble for domestic violence. He
I don't know
won in
horror
court,
movies.
but everybody attacked him while he was going through that, saying that he was a problem on the set. That he
I
was
don't
always
watch horror movies. I'm sorry.
I've been on movie sets with the stars are just nightmares, and I've been on movie sets where the stars are fucking dynamite.
I've been told before, like, don't look at like this actor's coming in, don't look him in the eye. Like I've been told
yeah.
that on a couple places.
They told me not to shake or make eye contact with Bill Maher. They told me and Sebastian. And I looked at Sebastian, and about an hour later, Bill Maher came in, and I go, Sebastian, watch this. And I walked right up to Bill Maher, shook his hand, and gave him a hug. He fucking I was like 400 pounds. He wasn't going to say that at the time. He wasn't going to say, hey, man, get off me. I just hugged him, and you could feel him just freeze, the germaphobe. It happens. You got to bust their balls, too. What's the worst thing they could do? Fire you?
That's
Lee,
true.
I
What's
love
up,
doing
buddy?
this to you again. This is great. I got to go. This game is starting in 5 minutes.
Oh shit, let's do it.
Let's do it. Thank
Who
you.
do you think? Who do you think, real quick, Jets or Bills?
I think I'm going to go with the Bills tonight.
Well, good. I'm going with the Jets. Let's see what happens.
All right, cocksucker. See you next week. We'll talk during the week, all right? Stay
Love you,
black.
buddy.
And now for a word from my motherfucking sponsors, Jack. Freeze pipe. For the smoothest, coldest way to smoke, you got to try the freezable pipe. Bubbler or bong from Freeze Pipe. Here's how it works. You pop the glycerin chamber in the freezer, wait an hour, and watch as the smoke is cooled by a whopping 300 degrees. No more coughing, no more burning. I love the Freeze Pipe. They just sent me a new compartment for fucking blunts. Guys, you put it in the freezer, you roll your blunt, you take it out of the freezer, and now the blunts won't burn you that bad. They just released a mini bong and a tornado bong, and they're not only affordable, but they punch well above their weight class. And for those who prefer smoking joints, blunts, and vapes, Freeze Pipe has you covered with their new glycerin blunt tip. It brings you icy glycerin coldness when smoking any type of joint, blunt, or vape. Say goodbye to harsh smoke and coughing attacks by shopping in the smoothest pipes, bubblers, and bongs and dab rigs at thefreezepipe.com and use code Diaz, D-I-A-Z, for 10% off your entire order. That's thefreezepipe.com, code Diaz, D-I-A-Z, for 10% off. Shop today and start smoking like you're living in Aspen. The check-in is also brought to you by Babbel. Listen, if you're headed to a different country, you need to pack Babbel in your suitcase. Joey, what's Babbel? Babbel is a real language learning for real conversations. You can start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks with their new fun 10-minute sessions. How great is that? Now you can talk to people in different languages. Who's better than you? The program is designed by over 150 language experts with a conversation-based teaching model. You'll be learning things you actually need to know for real life situations, like where is the bus? Donde está la guagua? Stuff like that. Instead of fooling yourself with language apps that are little more than games, choose Babbel, B-A-B-B-E-L. A study even found that using Babbel for just 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. How's that one for you? Here's a special limited time for our listeners to get you started. Get 55% off. Again, 55% off Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/Joey. Again, that's babbel.com/Joey. Get 55% off at babbel.com/Joey. spelled Babbel, BABBEL.com/Joey.